Well, here we go. It is going to be the battle of mid. Cajun, oh, see you later, Christo. It's not a new day. It's exactly the same as the last one. He's gone. Ours wrecked him, and they are just running over this A site. Cajun, he's normally pretty good in pistol rounds, but he can't do anything versus Henny. And, wow. Good luck.
Yeah, kind of just kicking off from where they left off, isn't it? This is getting a little bit grim. Yuri flicks to the head of Gade, makes it look easy. Was anything but. That's when you know a player is truly great. And Kriaz, he's being baited pretty hard.
Oh,
no! Does Yuri survive and kill him? It's just...
Please. I just want him to get 1D.
Yeah, I'm alongside with you as well. And, well... Gade's been straight up collapsed through the coffins. There we go, Kriaz. He actually gets a collateral deagle. Kills Art through K-Serato, and that's what you get for getting the P90 and trying to fully BM. Kriaz with another 1, points to prove, and so far he has been one of the better players on North over the duration of this best of 3. Cajun with the deagle range puts his to use, and North coming straight back into this round. Beautiful one.
Tries to almost bait in the other, it seems. Although goes for the bomb plant. Christo, he's in a perfect position. Rounds the corner with the dig. And North...
In smoke toss towards top banana. Furia have fully invested into the round. The timing could not have been worse. And to make it even that little bit more dangerous, Gade was pulling out the grenades and he couldn't even make the most of that. He couldn't even get revenge for Kriaz. And so already, Furia have just spilled out onto B site post-plants.
Lots of utility as well for North. So in a retake, they've got a pretty good scenario. The problem is, it's still easier said than done. Art will start off the Mania as he finds the first kill with the deagle. Gade has managed to trade one back, but there is Vinny with another. Still ends up in a 1v2 situation. Christo trying to turn the tide, and he will win the round. Should have enough time for the defuse as well. And North just about scraped through a second. It seems the Furia flashbang, though, has actually done more harm than good, but there's been no rotation. It's purely based on these players. Kriaz actually does enough damage to help out Gade to get the initial kill. The spray, however, is wild, and he's stuck in the corner. Now the MP9 has everything left to do, and he's run out of ammo. Onto just a USP. I don't know how the Swede's still alive. He is completely surrounded by Brazilians. There are 4 players still on this site, and finally, Art will put him down, but he might have done enough. He's given time for the rotation, given an opportunity, and Christo with the snapshot takes down a second through the smoke and leaves only K-Serato remaining. An AK, no armor, and he gets taken out by KGB. A huge round from Kriaz, even though he gets no kills, but it's Christo with smoke kills that close the round.
Yeah, he barely even scraped any ADR out of that round, but he played it so well. Yeah, and you got hit twice through smokes from an author. Like, these aren't plays that come out too often. Smoke towards the back of the site, tossed in from the CTs. This time, though, Christo, no smoke required, still comes out ahead. Kriaz using the gap in the smoke to bypass all of that focus and punishes Art. Henny returns. Another kill goes the way of Vinny as Christo's a little bit slow on the trigger, and Yuri will get an unsuspecting cave of success. It doesn't look impenetrable, but secondly, you're now setting up North to maybe trade over a third player there early on, throwing their utility
each time. I feel like if you have problems killing a player in a certain position, you should remember he's there. This round, though, again, Art's going to get the entry, and he's lucky Fury has his back. He goes jumping through, and they clean up this A site almost too easily. It seems like although they managed to get the B site for not too much trouble over the last few rounds, the A site might be the true vulnerability.
I just love it, man. I kind of touched on it just before the round started, that they've been occupying B so many times. Will they then pull the trigger on A? And what kind of weaknesses will they find on their approach? You can really see the thought process coming out from Furia. And sure, a lot of the trades did go heavily in their favor as a weakened purchase was picked up on the Danes, but just love these mind games. That game of chess that we often talk about, you're trying to outmaneuver your opponent.
Opportunities, they've not necessarily done badly so far, but now is where things should get relatively easy, at least over the next round. And the problem is with having these sort of economic, very dangerous.
A good flash toss down, actually, from Gade. You can see he desperately wants to go and help his teammates out. Kriaz and Christo in a spot of bother. It's the two newcomers, the two newbies. They have to try and hold the line, and they're doing a really good job so far. Only 2 players left from FURIA as they're about to get sideswiped by Yuri, and Henny also steps up, planting safely behind the fountain. But can Yuri escape? Suggests he can, as he still had his hands on a smoke. Lekro behind in this encounter in terms of HP, but doesn't miss his opportunity, and neither does Yuri. Now he can stay in position. Lekro with 5 HP left has a smoke. Any bullet anywhere on his person finishes off the round, and Yuri... Precisely. They're not being predictable for the most part, which is very rarely the case with FURIA, let's be honest. Cajun, solid deke, does at least keep FURIA fended off. Now they're starting to pick the pace back up. They will not anticipate Lekro being here to bait and switch, and not for the first time. He holds his fire. He plays patiently. We saw him nearly pull off a glorious play on overpass. And now he goes back in, but he catches a stray grenade, and the shrapnel will finish him off. And as good as it was looking, because he was buying up time for this rotation to take shape from both Cristo and Kriaz, unfortunately now, they get into a post plant with established positions being assumed by FURIA, then the utility is spot on. And Kriaz...
You have to think about how North are taking this game. Like, if they came into this genuinely believing that they could win, I appreciate the comp. That's mostly based off individual plays and a few calls on the fly. Nonetheless, a call on the fly has come in from the side of FURIA as they're going to run straight up to the B side. And even though there's a trade, it's not too bad a situation. You mentioned the third gamble player. Well, he's here, and I don't think Quesarado is ready for him. In that back corner, ready and waiting. The Molotov will force him out of the corner, and Cristo burning. He eventually takes one between the eyes. Vinny, though, has taken a lot of damage in response, and well, you know what? It still looks doable.
Don't worry, Lekro. No one saw that HE. Definitely did not. Low. Feels like maybe risks need to be brought into play. The shadow betrays, but the flashbang is good. Blinding out, burning out the retinas. And now Cajun taps the bomb, tries to get Henny out into the open. It's a labored spray, but he may have done enough just off time. This is going to be incredibly close. He doesn't have it. The bullets ricocheted all around.
Favor with how the rounds have been going so far.
Yeah, I feel like at least the 5-5 will be pretty fair from what we've seen. And now Henny for pulling off the 2v2 clutches, for getting back into rounds where it looks like they never really had a chance. North went in for a half buy. They have max round loss bonus, so affords them an SMG here and a pistol there. But Art is not interested. He is pushing down the aggression again. And now Cajun has been put down in his place. It will be a post plant momentarily. The bomb is still traversing across to the site. That will be in the hands of Henny. And FURIA looking good to be leading come the second half, whatever happens from this point forward. They will be getting an 8th round. There is no hope for North to get back into this, and let's be honest, I don't think Kriaz is even interested.
Hasn't really been any resistance when they've gone in that direction, but I guess if you're on their side of things, like, if you're feeling a little bit...
They've been naded a few times, and if Cristo misses this shot, he actually likely dies, and that's exactly what comes into play. And interestingly, right, is that much more vulnerable.
At least found the answer in some sort of response. They've got to try and kill off the man at the back of the site, and the smokes have faded. Things are starting to look rough, but then Vinny just comes up with 2 headshots. Make that a 3rd. He's just ripping them to shreds. As said, it's
just... I feel like having a round off. That's when I was like, no issues. I'll just run in and get 3 headshots then. Vinny was looking for a 4th, gets silenced. Not that it really matters a great deal. Money is in such a good place for FURIA. At one point, it was a little bit sketchy. But now it's certainly the CTs and North that will be feeling the effects. They could maybe...
want to see them be aggressive. Lekro going down mid, I like the idea. And yeah, they're fighting for Banana, giving them an actual battle for some of the positions that they've had for free. And it's actually working out quite well. I'm not saying I'm a genius, Vince, but it's looking pretty good.
It is, and it felt like this was bound to happen. They've been bullied and pushed around too much. And eventually, they snap. They decide, look, if we're going to lose this, let's at least lose on our own terms. Let's make sure that we at least do something about it. Exactly, yeah. Kill the oppressors. And unfortunately, Christo's timing could not have been worse, but they are being flanked. Cajun right behind them, but he's been hurt. Art knows exactly what's coming up. Still misses the shots, though, when he was very low HP. So had very little room for error. A 2-on-2, though, almost like the teams have traded places. Now Fury with a post plant and having a look where Gade is.
2 rifles to give us a chance to get to 5. And I don't know. That's not a scenario I want to be sitting behind.
Boost over the smoke in middle, peering towards quad. No one's home. Throw down a smoke of their own, and now they can start to make a move onto arches. But Christo, big kill.
Hold on to their utility, but the fact is they're going to try and play off Vinny. They did fantastic in the last round. This time, what? How does he get Cajun? Cajun was literally waiting for him. He's just solo triple entry the A site, Vince. Just end it here. End it here. Let's cut. Come on.
Those first 10 rounds, it could have easily been a 5-5 hell, maybe even a 6-4 scoreline to North. But it doesn't matter. Furia held on to the...
It's not like they didn't know he was coming. He just killed someone and ran. He headshotted all of them along the way. And that's what he's doing. He's going to get another kill. This time, Gade finally puts a stop to it. It takes the muscle of the in-game leader. But the fact is, it doesn't matter. This is the same scenario we've seen so many times. They rush towards the B site. There's not quick enough rotations. There has been an afterplant nigh on every single time. And Furia now just have to play the afterplants. And as we've mentioned many a time, like Furia have been together for a long, long time. They know each other very well. They're very good in these clutch situations. It seems slim that they'll lose this, but that's a nice kill from Lecro. He's going to give them away back in. Both players actually more committed towards that CT side, but that's an easy kill for Henny. And there's Quesarado. And this is what I mean. The synergy is nigh on perfect. It's all onto Lecro once again to try and clutch this out. Quesarado already tags him very low indeed, and he will finish it. How I play video games, I hope to come back every time. And the problem is I just don't. Which is actually very a lot of openings, especially for aggressive players like Furia, to find themselves kills. Priaz, well placed, but he can't do anything. You can see the frustration. Vinny just doesn't miss, and then Henny peeks out moments later. They're going on the wraparound, but they run straight past one of the players from Furia. They are just waiting to catch them, but they actually get rid of Vinny. And Quesarado, I feel like he might have missed his opportunity here.
Yeah, but he looked pretty disappointed. Lecro, 2 quick fire headshots. More for exit frags to me, Tom. Like, he's given up the round, but he wants to make sure he takes as many of these Kevlars down as possible. Nice headshot onto Cajun. Briskly just deals the fatal blow. But there's Christo. 30 seconds left. And Furia have done a masterful job at whittling away this time. Now, this may be a false narrative. They've got the kill onto Gade. They keep 3 players over here for a little bit too long. But he was all alone. He was the interference maker. Now Cajun can start to move in through on the balcony side. Pre's doing a good job with that MAC-10. And although the time was scarce, it looks like they will get it done just in time. And Furia, with 3 players, including a UMP and a MAC-7, would do well to hold on to these weapons, but we know just how aggressive they are. Sometimes greed certainly is not good, Arts, and he has been
happy person because you just believe anything is possible at all times. Also the confidence as well. Although I feel like if I had the search at least, but then again expecting them to be aggressive and denying them from being aggressive is one thing, and now he's going to punish them. The MAC-7 doing damage. 2 kills already net. Surely he can't get any more. Thankfully, Lecro's there to
best of 3. You'd almost expect him to land that first shot. Does go a little bit awry. MAC-7 at that range is always going to be difficult. And even though he connects sent the mass onto Cajun, he has 11 HP to his name and not really a hope for Fury to get back onto the site with. It is only a Galil, and they will have a bind to the next one. So you could at least respect the idea of them going in for this, making it costly. Not too much time has elapsed either, by the way, so this is even winnable. If Quesarado can get this quick fire shot into Cajun, who's very low, by the way, it's going to be possible, and he's actually pulled it off. North, how have you lost that round?
I want to talk about it. Quesarado is good at count.
Because Cajun was so low, he couldn't really wide swing to watch out for that secondary player. So having a player in pool just seems like such a disgusting choice. But Art with 2, speaking of disgusting, he's just wiped the floor with North. And North just can't catch a break. They're letting themselves down, but they're also dealing with an on-fire Brazilian mix of aggression with ruthlessness. And he next up does get batted down by Kriez at least.
Can we get a third player to peek into that orb, please? Any takers? Yeah, we do.
There it is.
There it is. Can we get 4? He'll get signed officially, make a bit of moolah along the way. Sharing is caring. Quesarado, though, still in the pit, and he doesn't like sharing. He'll just keep it all for himself, just spraying down, doing lots of damage, and eventually Kriez meets his mate.
Economy's in such bad shape, and they're eyeing up a 15 fight. The grenade damage, there's Molly's down. Just walk into Vinny, feed him all the kills. Oh, a triple dunk from Quesarado. What? That's something you see too often.
Really good enough. For FURIA, I don't think they've played this one as maybe... I guess others, like, they've been having some fun. They're getting very aggressive. It's basically just turned out into a big game of DM to see who can get the most kills. I think at the moment Vinny is winning with some pretty ridiculous headshots here and there, but they are pretty much fighting every portion of the map. And while some players are playing a little bit more passive, others are just getting incredibly aggressive, Cajun will actually find you.
Through via library towards the B side. Cajun's been tagged. Henny's missed a whole bunch of bullets, and he will go down. So maybe North aren't done just yet. They still have to cross, and they've got a smoke to supply it as they move in, but there's the spray from Vinny. It is equalized by Lecro 1-on-1. Art's up against Lecro now for all the chips.
Otherwise, Art takes the victory. He's got a full belt of utility, by the way. Every single nade, he uses none of them and doesn't connect the shot. It seems, however, that the T's are going to be a little bit more dedicated to this A site this time, and with the small amount of utility they've had, they've started to smoke off. But again, there's a huge gap in the smoke. So even if they do manage to get to the site, there's going to be opportunities. It doesn't matter, though. You mentioned the Deagle, and it's actually the pinnacle of this round. A quick cleanup and a finish.